A young man from Kennedy Heights back to good health today. He says it's all thanks to a team of researchers at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. Now, he was the first patient enrolled in a breakthrough trial that could change the way kidney transplant patients are treated after surgery. We explain how in our Medical Edge. After the first attempt was not successful, David Weber recently had his second kidney transplant.
My health is really good now.
Weber says much of the reason his health is better this time around is that instead of being given the traditional drugs following transplant that can cause toxicity to the kidney, he instead was enrolled in a national trial using a medication that is a modified version of an arthritis drug. It is called belatacept.
The beauty of belatacept is it has no toxicity to the kidney.
Dr. Steve Woodle is one of the principal investigators in this trial. He says usually patients are treated with steroids and drugs that suppress the body's immune system. But in this trial,
It is the first time that we think we're really able to get rid of both classes of drugs.
Weber says one of the drugs caused a burning sensation for him.
So when I get into a shower, my hands and feet were always on fire.
But the real benefit is that the change could also change long-term survival for transplant patients such as Weber.
And what this means in the long term is that the number one cause of death in transplant patients, which is the same cause of general population, is cardiovascular risk and death. And so now we have a chance to make improvements on that.
Only about 2/3 of the patients so far have been enrolled in this trial. It will continue for a number of years. But if this actual protocol ends up as a comparison to the traditional treatment, perhaps better for patients, it could change the way we care for transplant patients forever. David Weber says he's been so well following this trial, he could even take a vacation again.
I get to travel, I can snowboard, I had good energy too. I had a really great time. So I don't have any complaints in life right now.
He does, however, have a grateful heart for a donor that gave him a second kidney and a medical team that gave him a second chance.
I'm grateful that it's been successful as well as it has been, and that they can hopefully help other people too with this information.
We do have a link for more information on this study. David Weber has completed it. It is randomized but not blinded, so he actually knows he got the newer medication regime. And what they'll do is compare that to the traditional stuff. They will tell you if you have a transplant, the medications afterwards are the things that are really hard to take. So if you could change that, it could make a big difference. Kudos to local doctors for leading the way.
Absolutely. And he can snowboard. That's not just doing okay.
Oh,
that's doing really well.
I told him I can't even do that.
Yeah.
I haven't had a transplant, so he's
for him.
doing really well. We'll follow it.
Thanks.